Welcome back to Travel Ideas, where we dive into the world's mysteries and stories from beyond the grave. With Halloween just around the corner, it's the perfect time to explore America's spookiest ghost towns. Hold tight as we count down the top 10 ghost towns that are as eerie as they are abandoned. Let's get into it, and check out kiwi.com for an easy way to find the cheapest flight tickets. Link in the description. 1. Bodie, California. Once a bustling gold mining town in the late 1800s, Bodie saw its population surge to around 10,000 residents at its peak. This California desert settlement was notorious for lawlessness, gunfights and saloons. After the gold dried up, so did the town, and by the 1940s, Bodie was entirely abandoned. Bodie's eeriness stems from its frozen-in-time quality, with fully preserved buildings, weather-beaten homes and personal belongings still in place. There's even a local superstition known as the Bodie curse, where people who take souvenirs report misfortunes until they return the items. The deserted schoolhouse, complete with dusty books and desks, adds to the chilling atmosphere. 2. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia was a coal mining town prospering in the early 20th century. In 1962, a coal vein ignited underground, and this subterranean fire has continued to burn for decades. Toxic fumes and unpredictable ground collapses have made Centralia uninhabitable, turning it into a ghost town by the late 1980s. The burning coal fire beneath Centralia casts a haunting glow at night and causes smoke to billow from the ground. Streets are cracked and lined with graffiti leading to nowhere, and the faint smell of sulfur fills the air. The never-ending fire and the skeletal remnants of homes and businesses give Centralia a post-apocalyptic feel. 3. Tlingua, Texas. Nestled near the Rio Grande and Big Bend National Park, Tlingua thrived during the mercury mining boom in the late 1800s and early 1900s. When the demand for mercury plummeted, so did the town's population. By the 1940s, it was nearly abandoned. Tlingua's eerie ambience is magnified by the surrounding desert, creating a desolate, isolated atmosphere. Ruins of stone houses, mining equipment and abandoned cars are scattered throughout the area. Tlingua's annual Day of the Dead celebration in its graveyard adds a supernatural layer, attracting tourists and ghost hunters alike who hope to encounter spirits of former miners. Kennicott, Alaska. Once a thriving copper mining town in the early 20th century, Kennicott was bustling with activity. The rich copper deposits attracted miners and the town prospered until, well, the ore supply dwindled. By 1938, the town was deserted as the last train departed, leaving behind an entire settlement, including a massive copper mill. What makes it spooky? Kennicott is an isolated, frozen ghost town high in the Alaskan mountains. Its massive red mill building and other structures stand eerily against the rugged, snowy landscape. Stories of miners' hardships and accidents lend a sense of foreboding, and the sheer isolation adds to the haunting feeling of the abandoned settlement. St. Elmo, Colorado. A picturesque mining town in the Colorado Rockies, St. Elmo boomed in the late 1800s thanks to gold and silver mining. After the mines closed in the early 20th century, most residents moved away, and by the 1950s, it was almost entirely abandoned. What makes it spooky? St. Elmo is well preserved, with wooden structures and old mining equipment still scattered about, creating an authentic ghost town atmosphere. The town's former hotel and general store are popular spots for paranormal activity, with reports of lights flickering, footsteps, and ghostly apparitions attributed to former residents who refused to leave. Cahawba, Alabama. As Alabama's first state capital in the early 1800s, Cahawba was a flourishing river town. However, repeated flooding, especially from the nearby Alabama and Cahawba rivers, made it unsuitable for long-term settlement, leading to its abandonment in the mid-19th century. What makes it spooky? Today, Cahawba is a historical park with few remaining structures, but the ghostly atmosphere endures. Known for paranormal sightings, visitors report ghostly apparitions of Confederate soldiers and shadowy figures. The abandoned cemeteries and eerie silence of the swampy surroundings amplify Cahawba's reputation as one of the most haunted spots in the South. Garnett, Montana. Garnett was a booming gold mining town in the 1890s, but quickly faded as gold deposits were depleted. By 1905, many residents left and the town was abandoned after a devastating fire in 1912. Garnett is known for its well-preserved buildings, including an old saloon, hotel and general store. It's rumored to be haunted by spirits of miners with claims of disembodied voices, footsteps and moving shadows. Local legends say that during winter, when the snow isolates Garnett, spirits of its former inhabitants come out to reclaim the town. Rhyolite, Nevada. This town was born during the early 1900s gold rush in Nevada. With a population that grew to several thousand, it boasted a hospital, opera house, and even a stock exchange. But as the gold dwindled, the town's fate was sealed, and it was deserted by 1916. Rhyolite's crumbling buildings, including the hauntingly beautiful remains of the cook bank and the bottle house, made entirely of glass bottles, give it an otherworldly feel. The Nevada desert's barren expanse enhances its ghostly allure, while tales of haunted apparitions wandering the skeletal structures fuel its eerie reputation. Jerome, Arizona. Jerome, once known as the wickedest town in the West, thrived as a copper mining town from the late 1800s to the early 20th century. The town saw its fair share of violence, fires and mining tragedies before economic downturns led to a mass exodus in the 1950s. Although now home to a small population of artists and tourists, Jerome's haunted legacy lives on. Buildings like the old hospital, now a hotel, are reputedly haunted, with sightings of ghostly nurses, patients and even miners. Some report strange noises, phantom lights and the occasional chill from the spectral residents that still linger here. Virginia City, Montana. Once the capital of Montana Territory, this town was founded in 1863 after a gold discovery in Alder Gulch. It quickly became a bustling town, notorious for its vigilante justice. But by the 1870s, as the gold diminished, so did the population. What makes it spooky, you ask? Well, Virginia City is preserved as a historic town, giving visitors a real glimpse into the Old West. Paranormal reports include apparitions of old-time miners, whispers in empty rooms, and ghostly sightings in the city's saloons and theaters. And then there's the Hangman's Building, where vigilante executions took place. It's a real hotspot for supernatural activity, with claims of mysterious sounds and dark shadows appearing at night. Quite eerie, isn't it? Honorable mentions Calico, California, known for its vivid red rock formations and spooky mine tours. Goldfield, Arizona, a reconstructed ghost town with a history of paranormal encounters and sightings. Why these towns are fascinatingly frightening. Each ghost town on this list offers a unique blend of history and legend that contributes to its chilling atmosphere. The decline of these towns often followed devastating economic downturns, fires, floods, or tragic accidents, leaving behind structures that seem permanently haunted by their former residents. The preservation of personal items, old buildings and cemeteries gives visitors a sense of stepping back in time, while the tales of ghostly sightings and eerie phenomena invite curiosity and exploration. Ghost towns like Bodie and Centralia epitomize the frozen-in-time feel, where decay, isolation, and the unpredictable forces of nature turn them into places of mystery. Others, such as Jerome and Virginia City, bring the Old West to life with their preserved streets and buildings that serve as a reminder of both the prosperity and the darkness that once pervaded these settlements. Visiting and ghost hunting etiquette. If you're brave enough to explore these eerie remnants of American history, it's essential to respect the rules and guidelines set by local authorities. Many ghost towns are preserved as historical landmarks, and some are even private property. Visitors should refrain from taking anything, as some of these towns, such as Bodie, have strong superstitions against removing items. Guided tours often provide fascinating historical insights and safe exploration routes, especially in precarious areas like Centralia's coal-fire zones. Check out kiwi.com if you're looking for flights to any of these destinations. Link in the description. That's our list of the top 10 spookiest ghost towns in America. Have you visited any of these haunted places, or is there a ghost town you'd add to the list? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more haunted histories and spooky stories. Until next time, stay safe and have a hauntingly good Halloween.